Member of Parliament for Central Manchester, Peter Bunting, continues to defend why he is the right man to lead the People's National Party. According to Mr. Bunting, he has been offering his advice to steer the party, but Dr. Phillips has been slow to act. He made that declaration on TVJ's All Angles on Wednesday. TVJ's Kalisha Williams has that story.
He has got his chance. There's nothing transformational coming from his leadership after 2 years. Words of Manchester Central Member of Parliament Peter Bunting while speaking about his intent to challenge the leadership of the People's National Party on TVJ's All Angles on Wednesday.
I'm just using an analogy. If you have somebody who is, let's say you have a taxi on the road and you have a driver and he gets, a number of tickets. He's not bringing in the fare, the amount of money he's supposed to bring in per day in order to make the payments on a taxi. How long do you wait until the bank either seizes it or he gets in a serious accident?
He used that to drive home this point.
It's not like I was, sitting aside waiting for things to collapse.
But what advice did Mr. Bunting offer? First, he said he told Dr. Phillips that Colin Campbell was not the right choice for communications director.
I mean, Colin is a great comrade, and I have nothing against him personally. But the skill set that you need in today's communication paradigm is going to come from digital natives, a much younger set of persons who understand social media.
Then this.
I spent a couple of days in my holidays, wrote this outline of a plan, gave it to Dr. Phillips and the General Secretary. We discussed it at length, both of them and myself, on one-on-one meetings. In fact, I had 2 one-on-one meetings with Dr. Phillips going through it. But it never played out.
A strategy he believed the party finally got right is Crystal Tomlinson to lead its youth arm, the PNPYO. But months later...
I don't want to get into the weeds of it, but I think even Crystal has struggled to bring the communications machinery to where it needs to be.
This is a reaction. You're feeling you've been shut out of the inner circle.
So clearly, it's not that I was shut out. And as I said, whatever I was asked to do, I went to all the meetings with the PSOJ, the Council of Churches, everything else, and I withheld nothing.
Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.
In the meantime, Mr. Bunting has made it clear that he will strongly resist any attempt to schedule the leadership challenge earlier than September this year. He insists that the election should take place during the party's annual conference. It follows questions that a special delegates meeting will be called in July to hold the election.
There is no constitutional basis to say, no, we're going to somehow bring that forward to next month, when they know that I don't even have a delegates list. So I can't even campaign to anybody effectively at this time.
He said he has already written to the General Secretary, Julian Robinson, about the matter.
I heard from, I think, a public statement that the party leader or the General Secretary released. And I communicated with the General Secretary, and I made it very clear to him that, I was not participating in whatever that was.
Meanwhile, PNP General Secretary Julian Robinson says the party has made strides under the leadership of Dr. Peter Phillips. He pointed to the selection of candidates in 95% of seats across the country as proof that the party is more organized.
We're working on developing that national message. Yes, it has taken longer than we would have anticipated, but when you have had 2 by-elections occasioned by the death of MPs that were not planned, it has been disruptive to the normal flow of the work that you would be doing. So I won't pretend that we are where we would all want to be, but neither am I going to accept that no progress has been made and that we haven't made advances. And I think that there is a good show of the work that has been done, but we need to build on it. And what we need is all hands on deck, quite frankly, to ensure that the party is united going into an election.
Now, one caretaker candidate, in the meantime, is convinced a general election is close. Oswest's Senior Smith, who will run in St. Catherine Northeastern, said the sign can be seen in the remembrance activities for former Prime Minister and JLP leader Edward Seaga.
But certainly one of the main efforts that it is attempting to achieve is to galvanize labor rights. And there could be no other reason for wanting to galvanize labor rights other than the fact that there is a very imminent set of general elections.